Well, happy Memorial Weekend, everybody. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys, as well as you ladies, for being here and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. And I'm realizing I forgot to do something. Oh, my God, I forgot to do something. We have the Ward family. He wanted me to send him the link, and I forgot to send it to him. It is Memorial Weekend. The Cowboys have had OTAs. I have been busting a hump, working all over the place and stuff, and I'm hoping you guys can actually help fill me in on everything that's happened in case I've missed anything with the OTAs. Shout out to everybody who's literally, Memorial Weekend, that you're taking time out to be part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. And I have actually some interesting news that I didn't realize had happened. Was I got an email from Video IQ, which is a great help source. If you are doing YouTube, definitely check out Video IQ, because they let you know about all the trends, the analytics, and things you should or should not do about your channel and growing them. They sent me an email that said, I have hit 50 million views on this channel. That's a lot of times for you guys to click on this channel. I'm curious. I have to say at least 10 million of those probably are trolls. They're probably trolls or Eagle fans, which are about the same thing. So without further ado, let me get my crew up in here. What's up? I see Ruben Walls is the first one up in the camera. What's up, Ruben? How are you doing, man?
What's up, Mark?
Man,
Hey,
I am living
Mark.
the dream here. I am excited as can be, although I'm a little bit bummed because my table saw apparently doesn't work as hard as I do. It decided to say, screw you. The motor died on it. And, I haven't had it that long. I got it in 1989.
Man, that's a long while.
A Craftsman table saw. Yeah, I did change the motor about 20 years ago, and so the motor died. So I actually found a motor for it online, so it'll be here in a couple of days. So at least there's that. So, Ruben, how's your holiday weekend going, buddy?
I'm alive, Mark. I can't complain. I'm liking what I've seen from the Cowboys so far.
Okay. And
It's giving me hope.
it's giving you hope? Well, the question
Yeah.
is, should the Cowboys make another move? That is the big question.
I think so.
And the question being is DeAndre Hopkins. Let me say hello to Loyal Cowboy. What's up, Loyal Cowboy? How are you doing?
Hello. Yeah, I mean, if we can get Hopkins, that's good, but I'm not going to sit there and stress over it because we all know how Cowboy is. Unless somehow he lands in our lap, I mean, I'm sure there's other teams that can easily outbid us over him. So if we get him, we get him. If not,
here's what I'm going to actually say, though, is I think that this is a different Dallas Cowboys team. They are doing things differently than they've done in the past. When you think about, we haven't heard Catboy basically throwing anybody under the bus, making contracts. It used to be when D-Law was trying to get his contract and everything else. We always heard, well, we got to keep money on the table for others with, not D-Laws, with Dax. We haven't heard that from him. When D-Law was trying to get his, they kind of threw him under the bus and trying to say, we thought we were going to get him for $18 million or something, and he's being greedy. We haven't heard any of that with Diggs. We haven't heard anything with that with CD. And the fact that he even said, maybe we'll just wake up one morning and that contract is done. This doesn't seem like, I'm wondering if we're like in an alternate universe or something.
yeah.
And that's where I kind of look and say, well, maybe, I hate to say that Philly 500 is making some sense because very rarely does he. But he pointed out something very big yesterday, and I hadn't even looked at it. Kansas City only has $680,000 in cap space.
Yeah.
And the Bills only have I think about $1 million. So when you look at that, they're going to have to release somebody or get some cap relief by, restructuring contracts to try and put them on their roster. The Eagles have, I think, 13 million. We have 10.5, which will grow to 21 come the first. So, we're in a better position than basically anybody else. Now, are the Cowboys motivated to do that? I don't know. I see we got Game Time in there who says that he would be a luxury item. Okay, so, he's like a step up. And Edward Strickland, how are you doing this Memorial Weekend?
I'm doing fine, sir. How about you?
I'm kicking. Like I said, I'm a little bummed that I killed my table saw because, man, I was rolling on building this butcher block island and stuff, man. I'm itching to do some more work on it. I'm itching so much that I'm thinking about packing my wood up and going over to my dad's house and using his table saw and cutting some of these pieces so I can keep on working on this thing. Because, see, when I get the itch to do something, there ain't no stopping me, bro. I just keep going. My wife is just like, stop. And it's like, bro, honey, I can as long as I don't stop, I can keep on going. So I don't want to stop ever.
You want to finish, huh?
Oh, man. But, because I literally was making a lot of headroom. Although I do have some work. I can still glue up the butcher block pieces and things and plane those tomorrow. But I need to build the body. Game Time. Oh, Game Time then left the building there. And Thomas Garrett is also in the house. Eddie Logan upgraded to a super fan. Shout out to Eddie Logan. Appreciate you, bro. Make sure you go to the community tab and, let us know that you upgraded and stuff. All right. Hopkins. Anybody want to say we should go get that guy? Or should we just say, man, screw him?
We should go get him, but what does Catboy think? That's what it depends on. I'd say yes. I'd say we should be all in, especially on our offense. We're already looking good on defense, so it wouldn't hurt.
Get a little bit more firepower.
Well, and probably some of this is going to be how they feel about what they have currently. If they feel like Michael Gallup is, doing really, really well, they'll say, we don't really need him because we've got Brandon Cooks. So they feel great that Brandon Cooks has still got it. And you got, CD, of course, has stepped up and was all world last year. And Michael Gallup, you could say, we don't really need to do that one. Because, in fact, I dare say, will we be better off getting an offensive lineman? Am I crazy on that one? It'll cost you a lot less than Hopkins would be.
That's a good idea. That's a good thinking right there, Mark.
Well, the way we're looking at right now is Tyron Smith going back to his left tackle position, Tyler Smith going to guard. If he can stay healthy, then it's a great lineup. But anybody have faith in Tyron Smith being healthy all season?
No.
David Wiley.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
There's Game Time. Game Time was the one, and I've quoted you many, many, many times, Game Time.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I've quoted you saying that DeAndre Hopkins would be a luxury.
Yeah, at this point,
okay,
would.
That's like the little extra that you get, But see, I'm one of those broke ass guys that I don't get luxury.
A lot of noise coming from Thomas over there.
I don't get luxury, man. Nobody gives me luxury.
Yeah, it's one of those deals where I don't. Obviously, the word out on him was more widespread than we thought because I always wanted Diggs, but he was pretty much outside of trading for Diggs. He was my number one all along. But clearly, the word around the league is not good on him. I'm not saying they don't like him, but
on Hopkins or Diggs.
Yeah, No, Hopkins. I'm not saying that people don't like him, but he was cut, right? And he's looking at the OBJ deal. And his number is not going to be cheaper than OBJ. He played all last year.
Eddie Logan. Shout out to Eddie Logan with the big super chat.
How good is Hopkins' health?
Well, I think he's fine. But there's something going on, right, guys? Isn't there something going on?
Well, here's the question. Okay, now let's think about this for a second. Although Odell did finally get a decent contract, I don't know who's got the background noise.
That's Thomas Garrett, man. I feel like I'm in a Jurassic Park. I got like.
I'm on my patio. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me do some maneuvering.
All right. Vado's trying to get in. Shout out for the super chats, and let me write those down and get them added to the list here because we're doing our drawings. The question will be is because we've seen the devaluation of free agents this year. Now we've heard rumors that he's looking to get paid big time, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of money out there for like running backs, for wide receivers. You haven't seen any real big contracts. I mean, I guess the biggest one we saw was the Eagle going to the 49ers, Hargrave. That was really about the only real big.
Went to the 49ers.
That was about the only real big contract that I remember this offseason. Or big move. Am I having deja vu? And as long as it took for Odell, I mean, Odell was kind of out of desperation for the Ravens to appease Lamar Jackson. You know, I'm still surprised he got $15 million. But still, that's not that much money on there. So it may end up being, like I was saying, Buffalo has got $1 million in cap space. Kansas City has Charlie Matthews. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. God is good on this Memorial weekend. Appreciate you, bro. Kansas City's got $680,000 in cap room. So you start looking at it and saying, if you're looking at going to a contender, there's not a lot of money that's out there that the market may be devalued. He may be looking for 25.
Nah, he ain't getting 25.
Well, I'm just saying he may be looking. I mean, you can be looking for anything you want.
Right.
But the reality probably is, you know, he's got to be worth more than Odell. No?
Yeah. I don't know, man. How much is he going to walk away from the Bills? He may be willing to give you a cheaper deal knowing he's already getting some money, but, you know, that's the big sticking point. But I only brought up the Chiefs and the Bills because they were the only two teams that were offering anything via the trade. Now, obviously, we don't know how much they wanted Arizona to pick up of his deal. You know, that was all a part of it too. So, but they were the only two teams that were willing to give any draft capital for him at all, and it wasn't much. Probably a sixth round pick, and you have to eat a substantial number.
Right. But the question now is,
Votto?
There we go. Amen on that one, Votto. Amen on that one. So the thing is there money out there that somebody's willing to pay? Because I have to think that he's not looking to go to a sorry-ass team.
No.
He's looking and saying, this is now about my legacy. Nice haircut. I would think that he's trying.
You know what I would do?
Yeah. What would you do?
22 in dead money for what's his name?
I would wait if I was him. I'm hearing reverb. I'm hearing myself back, Mark.
Yeah. You are definitely.
It's not me.
That wide receiver's getting 22 million.
Yeah, but he still wants to get another contract.
If I was Hopkins, I'd wait for an injury or something, and either that or I think the Ravens. I think the Jets. I think they're going to try and load up around Aaron Rodgers. Dark horse is Eagles. Eagles have money.
Well, Cowboys have money too,
and the Cowboys. But
I agree
we need that.
Time, Brian. You know, you're gonna get in that situation where you're gonna have to kind of swallow your pride and say, hey, screw it. If I wanna go to somewhere where I know I can get a Super Bowl ring, swallow my pride and my ego and, see if I can get a Super Bowl ring here or there and just run with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't need any money. You're set for life. You don't need no dead presidents. This is about your legacy.
They haven't shown any interest in Hopkins, none whatsoever. I don't think there's a spot for him. That's just my opinion. You know, we'll see. He's going to play somewhere. So
I just don't like to get my hopes up real high.
Well, that's just a conversation to have. Now, apparently, this, of course, you know what happens when you're in a relationship with somebody. You know, the women. Oh, my man, I just love my man. And then you break up. You know how it ends up being, girl. You know he never did it for me. You know how that is, right? So apparently now the Cardinals are saying that they were pissed off about Hopkins because he refused to dress a couple of times during the season last year when healthy.
What?
Well, yeah. Well, you heard his comments regarding the quarterback. He wants to go where the quarterback basically takes, is in a playbook. He came out yet again. Kyler Murray is getting, basically looks bad on Kyler. You know, that yet another talented guy does not want to play with you because you're not you're putting the work in. Now, there was a brief thing regarding Dak Prescott, and Phil brought it up last night. He's like, he doesn't like the Cowboys. No. He was with the Cowboys big time, but the Cowboys or Dak never said, "Oh yeah, I would love to have."
Yeah, we didn't show him any love.
What happened? It's nothing bad. It's just Dallas didn't open their arms and say his name, and nor they should. He's under contract, for crying out loud. People forget that.
Well, here's where it gets to be interesting because this feels like Odell situation where Odell was, here it is. Everybody was singing it was the Odell sweepstakes because we originally had Buffalo talk to him, the Giants talked to him. He came in for the Cowboys. Shout out to Sugar Daddy, 20 months as a Mojo Crew member. And it ended up being all of a sudden there was nobody that actually signed him until finally Baltimore came through at the end there to sign him. So, now we're hearing rumors that that he might not mind reuniting with Deshaun Watson and going to the Browns. That was the latest rumor that I'd heard right there. And, so now you got the Browns. Of course, he says, I'd like to go to Kansas City or to Buffalo, which are two teams that have no money. But, of course, he's looking for a substantial contract. So,
Hello.
Hey, Stacy, how are you doing? Great live stream today.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, ma'am.
I was laughing at you. When you said that, I was thinking about that song. Don't want no short.
Oh. But you know that's how you listen. When your women break up with the man, you gonna trash him. You gonna talk about how man, his feet stink and everything. Girl, you do. But when you're with them, oh my God, that's my man. You better not say nothing about my man. It's like, girl, no, you stop talking about. He a good man. He a good man. Y'all break up. Oh heck. That sorry ass. You know you've done that.
Let me tell you something about that.
Huh?
We've all done that.
Well, tell us about that, Thomas.
Either they gonna do that, or the girl, the ex-girlfriend, her attitude is gonna be like, "Don't let me find out. Don't let me find out he get." Now this is from a female's mouth. Don't think I'm like this when I say the word. The female is gonna be like this, or the female is gonna have the attitude of, girl, don't let me find out if he got another bitch on the side, because if he do, I'm gonna find some kind of way to hook up with him to get that other bitch mad, get that bitch mad at him.
Oh, okay. All right. Thomas, you took it to a whole nother level. I was just saying that, okay, the Cardinals are trashing him now, of course, basically saying, well, he sat out games because, girl, he about this big. Okay. He ain't. That's right. He was no good for us. We better off without him.
Don't.
But
I want the short man.
But it's kind of like you think about Zeke. You remember when Zeke went out and had his list? I like the Buffalo Bills, I like the Bengals, and the Eagles were his teams that he was interested in.
Yep.
Just because you interested in them doesn't mean they're interested in you.
Facts.
So yeah. Now, granted, Buffalo and Kansas City, made calls, but that's kind of like when Cam Newton got released. We heard, well, the Cowboys are going to do due diligence, with Cam Newton. They ain't going to sign him, but they're going to check and see. I mean, you should be doing that with everybody that's out there to see how much they want, see if they'll fit your system, if they want to play. I mean, that should be standard practice. You don't just ignore somebody and say, oh, no, we're not even interested unless you know something really bad about them.
And that's Zeke is in that same situation right now because technically Zeke is still a member of the Dallas Cowboys.
No, he's not.
Next week.
Well, yeah, until the 1st, technically, yeah.
Until June 1st. He's
still on the books.
He's still on the books. That's the reason why no team trusts him.
But they can sign. I mean, they can sign him if they want to. Again, he's already been made designated at June 1st cut. They can sign him. It's just we don't get the cash until June 1st. But he's already done. And if the Cowboys decide to bring him back, we still have to pay that cap number. He's just getting a new contract. So that's, done and over with. But I think at this point, I don't think there's any chance that they're going to re-sign Zeke. I think the chances are 0 and none, and I would take the none.
And even if we, just hypothetically saying, if it happened, even if we do bring him back, we want to cut him first, and then new contract on the table, and you know where I'm going with this, Mark. Re-sign him and all of that.
See, I think the thing is Zeke Elliott, I don't think is going to fit what the Cowboys want to do this year. No, I think everything that the Cowboys are doing on both sides of the ball are predicated on speed. You look at the type of guys that they have drafted on the defense, from Damone Clark and everything else, Overshown. It's all guys that are tall, fast, and lean that are heat-seeking missiles. And you look at the offense as you start getting Deuce Vaughn, and you look at Tony Pollard, they're very fast backs. And so I think that you're looking at trying to get more of an up-tempo and really be on the attack. Zeke Elliott is not the attack guy.
Nope.
And that's where you look at it and say, I'm sorry, the numbers have gone downhill. I mean, as much as I love Zeke and I would love for Zeke to be here and win a Super Bowl in the same way I wanted to see Tony Romo and Jason Witten and those guys, reality is running backs don't last. And quite frankly, nobody's talking about Ronald Jones, and every time I bring up Ronald Jones, people laugh. But that's a guy that doesn't have a lot of miles on him, and he's averaged 4.3 yards a carry in his career.
Right.
So what camp is Ferguson going to? I heard he's going to a tight end camp. Anybody else hear about that?
I had not heard that one.
I did not. I do know he's slimmed down and is, with everybody's saying what great shape he's in. He's, so, I think their tight ends as a group are going to be as good as anybody. I honestly do believe that.
How much did he slim down?
I don't know weight wise, but he definitely slimmed down. Looks more. He just looks more ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
He was bulky when he came out.
Yeah. I think he realizes the NFL. Where you're in college, you may be able to get open against college secondaries. You're going, you got linemen that can keep up with you in the NFL, so you need to be as fast as possible. But hey, a lot of great things. I heard Mozzie Smith is a load of a man, not sloppy at all. He's just put together, man. I'm excited.
Eastside Herald. Oh, I love you, Eastside. Dallas will miss Schultz. I guess we'll miss Noah Brown too, since they're with your team, right? Okay.
Somebody put in the comments that Ferguson's going to Jason Witten minicamp.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did hear that. Actually, I did hear that.
He's doing a camp for adults? I've been to Jason Witten's, high schooler camp back in 2008.
Yeah, I think it's just a few tight ends, I think the Cowboy. It's just the Cowboy ones are going out to see Witten. That's not a bad guy to learn how to run a route off of. I'm excited. They said Luke Schoonmaker dwarfs them all. That's how big this guy is.
Yeah,
on the sideline.
He's 6'6".
Yeah, he definitely
250 pounds.
Yeah, 251.
And I hear feedback.
Yeah, me too.
So somebody must be listening to it. I can hear you, Beto. He said it's not me this time. Beto said, "Fuck the Eagles, it's not me."
Fuck the Eagles.
Eastside Herald says Noah Brown might not make the Texans team. Well, you know what, Eastside? Yeah, there's a reason why we've been saying that Noah Brown was not real good. If you're saying that he can't make the Texans team, then I don't know if there's any team he's going to make.
Yeah,
Man, when he signed a contract with the Texans, Eastside Herald fell in love.
Oh, I know. Now he's like, oh, he might not make the team. Yeah, because he's not. It's like, okay. Did anybody else hear about the Jimmy G situation?
No, what happened?
So Jimmy G has a foot problem, and they thought it was plantar fasciitis. They thought it was going to be okay, but it turns out he had to have a surgery, and he just had it not too long ago, and that his playing situation is in doubt. The Raiders made it in the contract. Basically, they have an out where they won't lose a dime. And it's possible that they exercise that. And you know who became a part owner of the Raiders this past week?
Tom Brady.
Anybody else see a player owner?
He could do a Michael Jordan and come out and just try to play this to get tickets.
That's what I'm saying. A player owner. Jerry Jones, we've always talked about being the owner, GM, and coach. You telling me that if they've got, Brian Hoyer is their quarterback, you're telling me that the idea of Tom Brady playing quarterback for you, that's going to happen.
You remember, Mark, that's if they don't cut Jimmy G. You remember, Jimmy G was Tom Brady's backup quarterback in New England. He won 2 Super Bowl rings
Yep.
as second quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah, well, there's a clause in Jimmy G's contract that he actually signed that if he could be cut for health reasons.
Yeah. And it won't cost him a dime.
I'm reading an article now on Pro Football Talk where the other teams would oppose Tom Brady going from the owner to player. There's been a few instances recently over the last few years where this has happened. He would need a 32-0 vote of ownership to let him join a team after becoming. It's not that easy to be an owner and then play. So they say if you see him put on hold a year that he wants to own a team, then that's an indication that he would play, but he won't be an owner and then play. So we'll see.
You know what, though, about the NFL?
They'll always make.
The NFL is about one thing and one thing only, and that is making money. Yeah. If they knew that we can get a few extra $1 million because Tom Brady's playing for the Raiders, they'll bend the rules.
Yeah, I get you.
The fact that they'll go ahead and say, you know what, we're going to be able to, switch games for Thursday night. If I'm Joe the fan and I ended up buying tickets to go to Buffalo, I would buy tickets to go to Buffalo in December, and then they move it to Thursday night. You're screwing the fan.
You're lighting up when Mark's talking. So I'm thinking maybe it's.
Who do you think it is?
Well, just mute Thomas for a second.
I got it.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. I don't hear it.
All right. It's Thomas. Thomas.
Bam. Bang. Sorry, bro.
Sorry, Thomas. I don't know what you got. Inflating balls. But, if the NFL literally thinking, I think that's the craziest thing in the world is to talk about moving a Sunday game to a Thursday night.
Yeah, that's crazy, Mark. That's absolutely insane.
You don't make your plane, flight that week. I mean, they say 14 days, but 14 days, that starts to get me a little bit sticky, time frame wise and pricey for tickets for flying there.
Yeah, Dallas won't end up being a part of that, just based on their schedule. There's one game, but Dallas is already on a max number of times. They could flex them, but just based on their schedule, they wouldn't necessarily be a part of that. But this year anyway. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like the new kickoff rule. I think it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you guys talk about that?
Not yet, but yeah.
Come on, man.
It's like at this point, it's like, why even have kickoffs?
No, come on. It's just so now. Okay, now what's going to happen? Now, first I'll explain the rule real quick. Only on kickoffs, not punts, but just kickoffs. If you field the ball anywhere inside the 25, anywhere,
as a fair catch,
be at the 5-yard line. If you put your hand up, it's fair catch. If you put your hand up at the 5, you're allowed to take the ball out to the 25. So what's going to happen is you're going to have these low line drive, heat-seeking missiles. There's going to be a lot of balls kicked out of bounds, which means you're going to start at the 35. And there's going to be a lot of even more collisions because, I don't know, I just don't like the rule. I don't know. What does everybody think? That's stupid.
Okay. If you're on the 5, you're not even going to, why even try and field it on the 5? You just let it go into the end zone and hope that it goes out so they bring it out to the 40. It's basically, you don't return it.
Yeah. Well, you heard what Turpin said. He's returning every punt, every kick.
And let him get taken down on the 16 and 17 yard line on a consistent basis, and his ass won't be on the field anymore either.
But if you think about it, it could benefit Turpin because you don't have a lot of kickoff teams. They're gonna be running lazily down the field, thinking that the ball is gonna be fair cold. Turpin is gonna be like, okay, if they're jogging down the field, I'm gonna return this back. And with them running lazily down the field with my speed, that'll give me the advantage.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Turpin, they're lining him up a lot on.
As a wide receiver in the slot.
So he needs to, or he ain't
got a job.
He got to go because.
Did y'all hear about Boss Fat?
Safety.
What about?
They're practicing about the safety.
Yeah.
He's got one foot out the door, is what it is.
Yep.
You look at all the safeties that we have. I mean,
that's what it is.
They
borderline.
What it is they don't like to admit that they made a bad choice in the second round, but unfortunately, second round picks are just not the Cowboys' usual things. I mean, we get lucky.
Why?
Because they usually take risk on second round picks and say we're trying to get first round talent at a discount, and it always ends up being you get what you pay for.
Risk, they actually usually hit. Sam Williams is going to be a stud.
Yeah,
and so they kind of. Some people had a first round grade on Sam, you know how that goes, but there was no real risk. So he was going to be just real raw. So raw don't mean risk. Risk is off field issues like this guy. So, or a lot of failed drug tests or something like that. But yeah, so it'll be interesting. There's a lot of guys that are on that bubble, but I thought it was funny that all of a sudden that, Turpin is lining up at wide receiver a lot, but did you see McCarthy? McCarthy's running big time tempo at the OTA.
Yeah.
Everything is tempo. None of this. I don't know about you. I know Mark got annoyed with it because I would watch a couple of games with him, but you always see Dallas come out of the huddle and they drain. I understand Dak is looking at what he's doing, but you don't always have to drain it down to
nothing.
1 second.
2
seconds. That just gives the advantage to the defense. You could do all that you want. They're looking at the play cockpit, behind the quarterback. They're going to go. It's just it's good to hear that they're doing a lot of tempo. So,
I love it because you know what? When you've had Dak where we've done no huddle, We've been great. See, this is the thing, everybody talks about, oh, well, Kellen Moore, they've had the number one offense. But see, Kellen Moore is kind of like Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett, when it came to crunch time, all those 8-8 seasons where we basically, if we win the game, we're in the playoffs. To me, those are playoff games. When we get to the playoffs, we don't do the stuff that we did during the season. When we got against the 49ers, we stopped doing the 12 personnel. We stopped doing the hurry-up offense. The things that work, we stopped doing. It's like, where the hell is it? And so up-tempo is one of those things that the Cowboys have done really, really well. As the same thing with Dak Prescott moving the pocket. Those combo routes, and this is the thing people don't understand, because a lot of times, you'll see Dak throwing the football, and it's like, where the hell is he throwing that? What the hell's going on? Is he blind? Yeah. It's because the wide receiver and him, for whatever reason, aren't communicating the same thing or seeing the same thing on the field. So Dak is, reading and saying, you're supposed to be over here in the flat. The guy's doing the combination route, and he's going downfield. He's throwing the ball where it should be, and the D-back goes through and picks it off. Instead of doing that, this offense is going to cut back, I think, on those combination routes where it's going to be quick hitting stuff. I'm throwing to a spot, and your ass is supposed to be right there. That's the play. Boom. And you're going to get the ball in a space where you can use the speed that you have to make a play after it. That's what I think they're trying to do. And that's where you look at it and say, Zeke is not that pass catcher. He is not that speed guy anymore. He is ground and pound, and the Cowboys are moving on from ground and pound.
Yeah, absolutely. Deuce Vaughn looked great, too. I mean, they're not wearing helmets, but nobody could get a read on them, They were having these drills, where you run horizontally or diagonally to a cone, you go around the cone, and then that defender is then supposed to basically touch you.
Right.
And nobody, everybody knows what side, what side of the field. So the linebacker already has a way to go, and yet they still couldn't touch the guy. It was just very impressive what he's doing. It's going to be a breath of fresh air. We just got to know he's not an every down guy. But that's why everybody's.
But neither is Tony Pollard.
Yeah, everybody's so worried about our 5th and 6th wide receiver. People, we're running the West Coast. We're going to be using 2 tight ends a lot in our regular formation, which is what? A good thing, right, Mark?
Oh, my God.
We have to really worry about, we really don't need to have to panic over our 5th and 6th wide receiver under this scheme. So,
well, here's the thing that for me, I'm a 12 personnel kind of guy, and we have guys
with you.
We have guys that can catch and that can block both ways, and that's where you look at this and say, although usually the West Coast is more 1 tight end sets, but when you have 2 tight ends, you can use those guys as receivers. So what you have to understand is you don't want to be predictable. You want to go where the defense isn't at. Too many times, especially with the receivers last year that we had that could not get deep, could not get separation, it shortened the field. Well, if you're lining up with 2 tight ends tight, that looks like a running formation and a heavy package, right? All of a sudden, you take Tony Pollard, who's in the backfield, you put him in motion outside, you got empty backfield. You all of a sudden shift, and you shift Hendershot out. You now have 5 wide receivers, basically 5 guys that can catch the football. And if they're in a heavy package with the speed that you have with all these young guys, you're going to eat them up.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yep. Deuce Vaughn. Yeah. I'm loving what I'm seeing. It's early. I'll be curious to see what version they run, but I think it can only help. This defense is going to be dynamic, so it's really going to come down to what the offense can do. Not just scoring points, but maintaining drives
and eating the clock.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes. It's exciting.
Shout out to John Jones, a member for 8 months. Appreciate you, bro.
John Jones, Mojo Crew.
And
what's up, Jason Renfro?
And we are going to be starting this week sending out our blue balls. Okay, my silver balls are actually coming. Silver balls. Okay.
Not to change the subject, Mark, but did you hear anything? Did you hear the latest on Left Hand Up?
about them. They don't have a trademark for their name.
And it's just not that guy who went out and bought up the trademarks. He was smartly went out and did a couple different Commander versions, but it's actually the important one is the Naval like the Army Navy
the game. Yeah,
that's the issue. There's a decent chance because the guy went out and bought the damn
trademarks for everything.
So he thought he could get some money out of it, but this is something bigger. The Army Navy game, that has nothing to do with this guy.
Right.
They may have to find another name. Could you imagine? Oh my God!
I think they should. I'll be quite honest with you.
I hate Commanders.
Oh, I think the Commander fans hate the Commander's name. And if I'm a new owner, you know what? I want to make this my team. Screw the Commanders. That was the dumbest. I mean, it's like everything they did from the whole Sean Taylor setup that they did, the memorial.
That was so cheesy.
Which literally was a mannequin. That's a statue of the guy.
Johnson owns it.
You know what they did?
Yeah, right.
So they took a picture with the.
There's a lot of. I mean, there's other names. I mean, I don't know, man. I actually like the football team better. I don't think you should stick with the football team, but I do like that better than the Commanders.
I say the Redskin Potatoes.
Yeah, I like the
the Washington Spuds.
A lot. Yeah, the Spuds.
Just call them the Hogs. Be done with it. That's what that's their nickname, anyways. Call them the Washington Hogs.
They ain't been hogs for a long time, but those days are gone. But they honestly, what they need to do is just wipe the slate because it's just been, as bad as we've been. At least we've won 3 Super Bowls since they did.
You got to do something with the military. I just didn't really care for Commanders, so whatever. I don't. It is what it is. I can care less about their franchise, but.
Ward family, what's up, man? I texted you the link there, buddy. Jason Renfrew, how are you doing? Sugar Daddy, Dwayne Sweeney, Angelica Barron. What's up to all the ladies? Happy Memorial Weekend to everybody. Thank you for tuning in and being part of the chat as we try and figure out, do the Dallas Cowboys need DeAndre Hopkins, or instead of investing that money there, would they be better off suited spending that money elsewhere, or should they just keep their cash?
Right.
Now, to think about it, I think we should. We are so much in depth at wide receiver that we haven't given the guys drafted and undrafted a chance.
Yeah, I agree.
The prospects are ranked really high, so I don't think we need them. I think it's like you said, go offensive line, maybe another center or guard.
I think. Listen, I think we're fine. I don't see much of anything coming our way unless there's a major injury. I think this is what you're looking at. We have so much talent, and like Ed just said that we haven't even seen. We need to give Fehoko and Jalen Tolbert. They need to have opportunities. That's the only way they're going to get better. Once we got Brandon Cook, any hopes of getting any other receiver, we're done. The good thing is, people, Cook's always gets 1,000 yards. Doesn't matter what team he's on. He's just a solid guy. So expect numbers from him, and he stays relatively healthy.
So I say Lamb will be number 1, Cooks will be 2, and Gallup will be 3.
And Gallup is springy again.
Be with his quarterback.
Yeah, he'll be good as his quarterback. Yeah, that's true.
I saw a commentary the other day that said because of Dak's reluctance to throw the ball to Tolbert, that's why he didn't get the production he was supposed to get.
No, he was running the wrong plays, Ed. So
because his ability was in college was based on down the field, and they would try to make him do 10 and turn back.
But that was the offense, though, that they were running. That's what I said. This could be a good thing for everybody. Everybody's starting from the same spot.
Yeah.
I think this could be a good thing. I'm still not sure what version. It's all talk. That's what's kind of exciting because it's all talk. We're gonna see it. And we may not even see it in the preseason like it's going to be on opening day. If we're saying that, other teams are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
What I liked, though, I did see that they were lining the rookie receiver as well as other receivers in the backfield. Kind of like what Green Bay used to do with their receivers. Help me out with the name. Loyal Cowboys, but you remember they were
Montgomery.
yeah, Montgomery. There you go. They're doing that with Drummond. Yeah. So I think that's the more things you could show, the better.
Yes, sir.
You think we'll see Jalen Cropper on the field this year?
Hold on, Vado. I'm sorry. What was that? Call a game.
Have you heard from Corey Gale?
Oh, Troy Daniels. Yes, actually, Troy. Yes, thank you, Vado. Troy Daniels actually texted me a couple days ago. He said, I'm still kicking. He's been sick and still and in the hospital. Hopefully, he'll be getting better soon.
And pull up.
And I didn't get the next one.
Pull up. Go up.
The Rock.
Oh, Rock. No, actually, I'm not.
Yeah, I hope he's okay, man. We're in a group text. I haven't heard from him in months.
No, actually, you're right. I have not heard from Rock either.
So,
can we kick off?
No, actually, I'll give him a call later and see how he's doing.
Yeah.
Big a while.
But I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about it. Just seems like time is flying.
Oh my God! Can you believe
it?
Can you believe it was a year?
We're already in June. Almost.
Yeah, it was a year ago, and we were spending a fortune in gas going down to Texas.
To hang out with Rock, right? Exactly.
I'm just amazed at how quickly it's just like this off season is just flying by, and it's like I'm trying to hurry up and get this red brick house done because training camp is not that far away. It's June 1st next week, so we're talking about about 7 weeks.
You're going to camp too, right?
I think so. I'm trying to make a point of doing it. I'm debating on if I should go to Oxnard or wait and go to Dallas for when they work out at the Star.
Yeah, you said that.
And so that's the question. Oxnard is different, and I mean, I've done Oxnard several times and stuff, but it might be interesting to be there in Dallas at the Star because then you've got more things you can do with, the fans and stuff because everybody will be in, of course, Dallas.
Yeah.
And it might be cheaper to go to Dallas than to Cali, too.
Yeah.
So, or do I just go to the Hall of Fame and see DeMarcus Ware getting inducted?
I've never been there.
The thing is, it could be you go to Hall of Fame because that's an easy drive. That's about 6-hour drive.
That's like 3 hours from me, and I still haven't been there.
Cowboys.
It's worth going. It's definitely worth going. But go, because that's the first week in August, and then you're looking at later in August, like after the 15th, of going to Dallas. That's a quick flight to Dallas, and boom.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could have some people. Somebody would be happy to pick me up at the airport. Would anybody be happy to pick me up from the airport? Huh? But we'll definitely be doing something. But Brian, you definitely got to check your schedule there.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So you guys feel good with everything we got? There's no place that you guys think we need to add somebody.
What's up, my man?
I'm still worried about the Tyron Smith situation.
I'm concerned about guard.
Well, that's Tyler Smith until Tyron Smith goes down.
I feel good. I feel good with what we got going in the game day, and my attitude is, what happened. We're deep anyway. We're deep anyway.
Well, I was wrong with my whole assumption that yeah, it's hard to it's hard, man. It's hard to concentrate when I hear myself. I was wrong when I said that they were going to put Tyron Smith at left tackle. He's not playing left tackle. It's obvious at this point. Tyler Smith has taken every rep at left tackle, which I'm good with. We're going to leave Tyler Smith, the young guy, to be our left tackle for years to come. Knock on wood. That's what it is. That they had Tyron on the right-hand side playing right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So, I keep hearing they want to have their best five, but Josh Ball, he supposedly they put on some muscle and is working right side exclusively, right guard and right tackle. Left guard, you have there's a whole host of people, but they really love Farniok. Farniok's playing left guard and right guard as well as backup center. So, I think Tyron is probably going to start at right tackle, and Steele, they may try and stick him at guard. Mark,
that would be
when he
crazy.
comes back. I know, but I don't know what they're doing unless they're going to use Tyron as the swing tackle. I don't know. I'm confused.
I would actually feel better about him being the swing tackle because consistency with the other guys, and hopefully, come playoff time, he's healthy if somebody does go down. I don't look at him and say he's going to be able to hold up for a whole season. So are you better off having him early in the season or having him if you need him late in the season?
I'm with you. I kind of like to have Tyron available at both guards, or if we get an injury, not guards, they're both tackles. We got Willetsko. He's playing right tackle. So it really makes you wonder, why they really brought him back. But whatever. I think this is his last year. This is his swan song. You won't see him be back again unless there's like an injury in the middle of the year or something. So it'll just interesting to see. But they really like Farniok a lot. I think Ball is fighting for a roster spot. They really like Willetsko. And Steele was playing at a Pro Bowl level before the injury.
Yeah.
So, listen, I'm going to say this. Our offense developing in the preseason is going to be the biggest, and gelling with our offensive line. That's what you got to look at. All these young guys need to play. So, don't play Zach Martin. You know what I mean? Sorry.
Ward, I'm going to try and send it to you again. I don't know why it did that.
I'm going to try to go, but I can't make any promises because I'm working on getting a ring this year. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's up, Votto?
Try one more time, Michael.
The offensive lineman,
Alec Lindstrom. Yeah, I like him too. He's getting some a lot. I really liked him because he's got pedigree. His brother's in the league. So I've always liked Lindstrom. So I hope they don't do what they did with our defensive lineman last year and float Lindstrom out there.
Yeah, his brother played with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Actually, he's a quiet grateful coming up.
All right. Well, it's interesting. Nobody has any concerns.
No, well, not on the defense. No, it's all going to be our offensive line and offense. And our line, we got plenty of bodies. That's not like we're hurting for talent. I'm very confident in who we have. We just need to gel, and we need to get this offense. We need to get people comfortable with the offense, and that's fine. That's fine, man.
So what's this I hear that Dak was frustrated with Mike McCarthy's accent?
Oh, but
Anybody else hear
okay.
about that?
Yes, I did a video about that. No, he said he's just got to get used to his twang that he has.
That's nothing.
You know, that it's different. You know, he's been listening to Kellen Moore since 2018, so he's got his heavy Pittsburgh twang and stuff in there. That was just kind of, it was kind of a joke.
But you know what's good? McCarthy is making Dak, and this is a good thing, people. McCarthy is making Dak work on his cadence. That's what I heard. That Dak everything's more up tempo, and his cadence is totally different, which is good. You know how it is in this league. These defensive linemen, I mean, these players get a book on how you do your cadence, and it's good to switch up the tempo in certain situations. If you can get that 5-yard penalty on 3rd down, didn't seem like we got a lot of that, So McCarthy is really looking at a lot of things. Listen, it's make or break it for McCarthy. So I'm fine with it. He's the guy who's won the Super Bowl in that room, as far as most recently. Let's go. Let's see what he's got. I'm glad that Kellen Moore's gone. So how bad can it really be? Everybody's gonna say, "Oh, it's gonna happen. We're gonna struggle one game. You're gonna say, oh, I bet you're missing Kellen Moore now." No. No. They expect.
I'm gonna be a high school coach.
He's like a high school coach.
Yeah.
The thing with him is sometimes, it's decent. Other times, you're kind of like, what are you doing, Kellen? I think what we're going to find out is the Cowboys were winning in spite of Kellen Moore.
I agree.
I'm going to mute you for a second there, Thomas. I don't know why you got feedback coming through. Okay, there we go. Oh, and he unmuted it. You.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Thomas, I don't know why you got this feedback that's coming back through. I bet you it's your earphones.
No, I muted myself, and I'm muted on. See, it's muting on his own.
We all hear you. You're not muted.
Okay.
There you are. Now you're muted.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, I guess that's all we got right now. So
that's about all we got, I think.
One more question. What do you think about TJ Bash? Think he makes the cut?
Vasher?
He gone.
He was gone last year.
Is he?
Yeah.
He was undrafted free agent.
He was last year, and he had that one incredible catch there in the corner of the end zone and went downhill and was cut.
No, TJ Bass, he's a guard.
Oh, TJ Bass.
Oh, I thought you said Vasher. Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't know much. I know they like him.
Is he gonna play the left or the right side?
Yeah. Go ahead, Thomas. Yeah, go ahead. You give us a scouting report on TJ Bass.
Yeah, he's a rookie guard out of University of Oregon. He was all Pac-10, and
that's right, Oregon.
Yeah,
they gave him a lot of money because I think he was a free agent, correct? They didn't draft him, right? They signed him. Yeah, I believe that. I think they gave him $200,000.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money, Marks, for them.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be a part of the team, or he's going to be a part of the team.
Yeah.
So he might be one of them guys where he has an injury.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If he's not ready to start or nothing, he might have an injury and you stash him away.
Right.
He's one of those unsigned draft choices that.
But they gave him a lot of money, though.
Hey,
Yeah.
Gavin on something. He's either gonna make the team or he's gonna make the practice squad.
Yeah. Or he'll have an injury where they can put him on
Right.
the injury reserve type of deal.
All right. Well, it is 6:00. I got to cook dinner and try and figure out what I'm going to do about my table saw being broken. I'm rather upset about that because I bought it in 1989. Shit just don't last like it used to. Yeah. Yes. How about kicker? We need one. Not for kickoffs, but we need one for kicking field goals.
I was telling Phil real quick before we go, this Vizcaino that we have had a horror. Yeah, he went 6 for 9 in practice, missed 235 yarders, which would be extra points.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't gonna cut it, but they had the damn special teams coach, Bones Fossil, doing all the holding because he was bored, I guess, and he wanted to hold. Well, okay. Is this guy? Yeah, he's probably like, yo, bro, you're gonna cost him my job because we're not having the punter hold. The special teams coach was doing all the holding. I'm like, come on, man. That's
at training camp last year. Oh my God, the kicking at training camp was atrocious. The guys that they had, I was just like, it was like we were getting like 1 out of 6 kicks were actually made. It was just awful.
There, so we'll get somebody.
Yeah, we'll see. Seems like kicker's been our bugaboo for quite a while now.
Yeah, we'll get somebody.
Mark.
Yes. Somebody said Mark.
Mark.
Y'all know where Fabian went? The offensive line coach?
Philbin, yeah.
College.
He went to Ohio State. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, good. You can go hang out with him.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Well, good people, we are going to go ahead and roll on up out of here. I hope everybody has a great Memorial weekend. And remember to say thank you to all of those out there that made the ultimate sacrifice so we could be here doing exactly what we're doing. And we're going to end with this.
There's this guy down here. He's got a